December 12, 2018, Cutler Bay, Florida. On December 12, 2018, approximately at 2:10 p.m., I walked to the bus stop, to catch bus number one so that I could go to Walmart. This is in the Cutler Bay area in Miami, Florida, of course. I'm talking about bus stop number 03635. As soon as I arrived at the bus stop, and I sat down, a perpetrator of organized stalking showed up. I know who he is. He has been following me around, stalking me for more than a year. This is a full-time perp working for law enforcement. So I got there to the bus stop around 2:20 p.m. and then at 2:23 p.m., yes, I did check my watch. So at 2:23 p.m., this perp appeared. He walked to the bus stop across the street, the bus which goes the opposite way. And as I mentioned before, so he just stood there watching me, to let me know, to like an intimidation tactic, to let me know that I'm being watched at all times, every time I go out in the general public. So this particular guy has been harassing me in an organized fashion, of course, in the Cutler Bay area for over a year, you know. So, so on December 12, 2018, at 2:23 p.m., he showed up, because he was notified of my presence. He got a phone call, probably from the guys in the Fusion Center. I'm under constant surveillance. Keep that in mind. Or from the Palmetto Bay Police Department in Cutler Bay. So we're talking here about orchestrated synchronicities, that are meant to intimidate, pretty much, it's harassment, organized harassment. This is meant to intimidate targeted individuals like like myself. So this guy is a full-time perp. He's getting paid money, cash. He's probably getting gift cards. So who recruited this guy to harass me? Obviously, people that work for law enforcement. So this guy, he feels like it's okay to follow me around, to stalk me, to mess with me, to use this psychological intimidation tactics. So he's doing this, and it is clear that this guy feels comfortable doing this because he feels like the police has his back. He feels like he's shielded from legal culpability. He's not concerned with getting caught, of course. So this was on December 12, 2018. As soon as I got to the bus stop, this guy appears by magic. He got a phone call from the police. Yeah, go there. He's there now. Go there and stand there and look at him in an intimidating way, to stress him out, to let him know that we're watching him at all times. So now I'm gonna go ahead and show you, another full-time perp, another agent provocateur, that has been recruited by the police to harass me, to stalk me. This guy I'm about to show you has been stalking me in the Cutler Bay area, for approximately 5 or 6 months. Check him out. You know, the minute I show up at the bus stop, he appears by magic. The idea, is to let me know that I'm being watched. Basically, the people that recruited this guy, so that he would show up, to harass me, you know, they know that I'm there at the bus stop, so they give him a phone call. Oh, he's there at the bus stop now in location such and such. Go there and show up. So then the guy, shows up and then he stands right behind me. This is a psychological intimidation tactic. They basically they wanna let me know that I'm under constant surveillance, that I'm being watched at all times. So for example, if I go to the bank and then when I'm done with my business there, I go to a bus stop in the Cutler Bay area, and I happen to be wearing, for example, a blue shirt. Guess what? The minute I get to the bus stop, this guy is, he shows up by magic, orchestrated synchronicity. This guy shows up wearing a blue shirt, you know, or, this guy has been harassing me for a long time here in the Cutler Bay area. So if I go to Goodwill, for example, I'm walking in the sidewalk and I'm heading to Goodwill, I look behind me and guess what? There's the guy following me, and the minute I turn around, he plays stupid. He does something else, to pretend that it's just something happening by chance. But this is not something happening by chance. This is something that has been carefully orchestrated. Basically, somebody gives him a phone call, the targeted individual is in location such and such. Go there and mess with him. And then this guy shows up, that's how it works. Or let's say, the minute I'm done, in Goodwill, and I go to a bus stop, to go to another location, guess what? When I board the bus, the guy is there, and the minute he sees me, he does some weird hand signal shit, something like this, or touching his nose or something, or coughing heavily. This is a psychological tactic, dark neuro-linguistic programming, negative aversive stimuli, So basically, he does that shit, to let me know that, that he's there watching me, to let me know that this is not something happening by chance, So, if these people realize that you're trying to gather evidence, that you're being stalked, that you're being harassed, by this perpetrator of, that has been recruited by the guys in law enforcement, then they're gonna be a little bit more careful. So instead of walking, behind you, following you, what they're gonna do is, like, let's say, for example, if I'm walking to a certain location on the sidewalk, of course, then this guy's gonna come out of nowhere and he's gonna cut me off, sort of like forcing me to step back. This is an invasion of space type of thing, and then he's gonna walk in front of me. It's a provocation thing. He's trying to trigger an emotional response, hoping that I do something. So that then the police can come in, woo, and they can arrest me under some type of charge, to make me look like I'm a threat to public safety or something, when in fact they are the ones that are doing some heavily illegal shit. Organized stalking is a crime. Organized stalking. The reason why they do all this shit in secret is because they know that that they're taking a shit on my constitutional rights. So this is so this guy that I showed you. This is another full-time perp. An agent provocateur that is being paid. He's being paid cash. Probably in the city hall. He's being recruited by the police to do this shit to me, to harass me in an organized fashion, to stalk me. So, ladies and gentlemen, this is called organized harassment sponsored by the authorities. The guys in law enforcement, they are the ones recruiting these kind of people to harass innocent, harmless, law abiding citizens like myself that pose no real threat to anyone.